This District 3 final here at Kittatinny starts at 106 pounds, and it's Pope John's fabulous freshman, Jojo Aragona, with the late takedown here as he would major decision Devin Flannery of High Point 18-6 to win his first district crown.
It's great feeling.
Let's talk about the game plan going in.
Take him down, let him up. Don't, just keep the pressure on him.
Talk about pressure. You're undefeated right now, and we got regions coming up next, then Atlantic City. What's the game plan?
To go and win states. Just go and win at AC. That's all.
At 113 pounds, it's Mark Geronimo, Kittatinny, winning his second district title as he pins Christian Dehan of Pope John in 3:18, giving the Cougars 6 points.
It feels really good, gives me momentum going into regions, and just a lot of hard work pays off.
Just talk about, you didn't wrestle him before. What was the game plan when you go against a guy you haven't seen?
I wrestled him last year, so I haven't wrestled him this year, but I've watched a couple matches he wrestled and just kind of studied what he did and just went after his weaknesses.
Take us through the pin. What were you doing?
Just working on that half, trying to flatten him out. And once I got him flattened out, I saw he was going over, so I just settled a little bit and just put him on his back.
You know the experience of going to Wallkill Valley, the big house with the regions. How are you going to learn from last year's experience and apply it to this year?
Warm up a little bit more than last year, get my head right, and just wrestle a lot tougher.
We go to 120 pounds in a rematch of last year's 113 final. Watch Jake Rotundo of Pope John with the takedown here as he would decision Garrett Gert of Sparta 7-2 to claim his second district crown.
Good feeling coming back here, wrestling the senior this year again. We wrestled last year, it was close from last year. I was looking to pick it up this year and beat him by more, so that was a good feeling to come out there and beat him by more this time.
Take us through the game plan when you know a guy so well and he knows your moves, but you kind of took control of this match right from the get-go.
Yeah, it's definitely more difficult. You got to think outside the box more. You got to think things, moves you haven't used on him, Go hard and just got to try and get the win.
You got to Wallkill last year and the experience. What did you learn from last year that you want to apply this year?
Definitely high school wrestling has definitely changed me a lot. It's harder, it's tougher, everything about it is different. And I just want to go harder this year and try and place the states this year. So.
At 126 pounds, it's all freshman Robbie Garcia of Pope John as he registers the 18-2 tech fall in 3:26 over Grant Gert of Sparta for Pope John's second title.
That's a really great experience here with the team here, and we had a lot of good competitors, and it feels really good just to be on top.
Take us through the match. You took control right from the get-go and got the tech fall.
Sir, I had my game plan. I knew what this kid was about. He's a tough kid. I just went out there, got my shots, worked on top, and got it done.
Talk about your freshman year. I mean, Pope John's got a lot of talented young guys, and you're one of them.
Thank you. Our team, our whole team as a whole, we work hard in the room. We run a lot. We all have a lot of heart, and we work hard, and it pays off.
And I know probably as an 8th grader, you went and watched the regions at Wallkill. Now you're going to be wrestling. How exciting is that?
It's exciting. It's a dream. I'm living the dream. I'm working hard, and my goal is to place in AC this year.
We go to 132 pounds and watch Nick Klinger of Kittatinny with the takedown here as he would decision Wyatt McCarthy of Newton 9-4 to defend his district crown for the Cougars.
Feels good to be on top again. I've been working hard all year. I expected to come in here and win, and I pulled it out. I'm pretty happy.
Take us through the game plan. You wrestled McCarthy early in the year. He's a good little freshman wrestler. What was your game plan?
Yeah, I know he has a good gas tank, so I just got to do what I do best, keep scoring points, put points on the board, and that's how you come out on top, just by keep scoring the whole 6 minutes.
You went through the experience of going to regions last year. What did you learn last year that you hope to use this year?
You just got to wrestle. Don't look at the names. Go out there, wrestle your best. It's a war out there. You got to go out there. If you lose a finger, just keep battling and come out on top.
And just talk about joining a list of Kittatinny wrestlers that have won 2 district titles.
Oh, it feels good, but still got a long ways to go to my main goal, so hope that can work out pretty well this year.
Now watch Austin Scrivani of Kittatinny at 138 pounds join an elite club here as he pins Cole Nagel of Vernon in 3:37 to capture his 4th straight district crown as he was named the tourney's OW.
I've been thinking about it for a while now during practice, just kind of helping me, work harder in the room, something to fight for, something to try to get at. And I finally got it done, so now it's time to move on. Keep wrestling hard, keep practicing, hopefully make some noise down in AC.
Take us through the pitting combination. Nagel's had a pretty good year for Vernon, getting to the finals. So just talk about how you got him to his back.
I mean, we got in some scrambles earlier in the match. I was moving on my feet a little bit. I don't know. I know I took a couple half shots, and he was on his knee, and I just I had the arm already, so I figured I'd try to go for the headlock, and it was there. And once I got him in it, I figured I'd squeeze as hard as I can until the ref blew the whistle or the buzzer rang, so that's what I did.
You know the tradition of this school. Only 5 guys have done what you've done, won 4 district titles. So talk about that place in history.
I mean, it feels great to join the other names that are up there. There's sure some greats, and it's just a real honor. Gil gave me the opportunity since my freshman year to even be out here, you know, and just given that, I gotta give 110% for him, for the team, and for everybody else that supports me. So with all the support throughout my high school career, it's helped tremendously, and I'm sure those guys that I'm joining have had the same support, and it's an honor. It surely is.
At 145 pounds, it's a banged-up Jericho Vez of High Point, making quick work of Jake Van Wingerden of Kittatinny in 146 to claim his 3rd district crown for the Wildcats.
It's nice, but my goal as a freshman was to come in here and be a 4-time winner, but being hurt sophomore year killed that, but I'm glad to finally get 3 underneath my belt.
Take us through the pinning combination.
I just kind of been doing the same thing all year. When a kid stands up, I grab their head and leg and whip them to their back.
And just talk about your physical health. You hurt your knee against Kittatinny, you got the shoulder brace. This is the time of the year everyone's got the bumps and bruises. Talk about the mental fortitude that you got to show right now.
But I have it's all in my head, really. If I even block my leg and shoulder out, I wrestle just like I was wrestling before I'm hurt. That's all there is to it.
And just talk about going back to Wallkill Valley. You know the atmosphere, and obviously you have bigger goals than Wallkill.
Yeah, I mean, Wallkill Valley is probably one of my most favorite places to wrestle. It's just an amazing place to wrestle, but of course I want to get through that, win that, make it down to states, and come out on top.
We go to 152 pounds, and it's Shane Connolly of Jefferson getting the points here, as he would win in an injury default over Dylan Minter of Kittatinny to win his 1st district title.
It's always a tough tournament. I mean, coming out of last year, not even winning a match and winning the whole thing, I thought it was pretty good tournament.
Talk about what was the difference this year? What did you do differently to get to the top?
I lifted a lot this summer, trained a lot at Olympic Wrestling Club, also in the summer, and it just boosted me, my confidence, my wrestling, everything.
Obviously, Minter got hurt, but you were taking control of the match. Talk about your game plan.
I knew I sort of had to be on the defensive side because he attacked me a lot, just like Eric Wingle, the kid I wrestled previous. But I just had to wrestle smart, and that's what won me the tournament.
How excited you are to go to the Wallkill Valley as a champ?
I'm very excited.
And a good one at 160 pounds. Watch Lance Fisher of Newton notch the late takedown here in the 3rd period as he nips Taylor Malfetto of Kittatinny 5-3 to capture his 1st district title.
I got in on that high crotch in the 1st period, and he chin whipped me, and I wasn't really expecting that, so I just had to keep my composure and keep going through the match with a clear head.
Take us through the final moments. You obviously had a game plan to get that 2 before the buzzer sounded, and we're going into sudden victory. Take us through that takedown.
You know, I knew that he was tired. I knew I had to just keep pushing the pace, and that the takedown would come, so I just pushed the pace and looked for the opening, and I took it and got that takedown.
You were a runner-up last year. What was the difference this year to push you through to the top?
You know, I had an injury at the beginning of the season, and I just had to clear my head and keep working, and I worked harder in the practice room and worked out on my own time, and it paid off.
You went to Wallkill last year, but this year you go as a champ. How big of a difference mindset does that bring you confidence-wise?
It definitely gives me a lot of confidence because I get the bye Wednesday, and it's definitely going to help with my seeding. So going into regions with a lot of confidence is definitely a good thing so that I could hopefully get to states.
At 170 pounds, it's Al Falco of Sparta with the reversal here against Josh Klimek of Kittatinny as he would decision Klimek 6-2 to win his 1st district championship.
Fantastic. Finally got my 1st one. After being here 3 years, nice to come out on top.
What was the difference for you to get on top this year?
Just confidence. After I wrestled like a Kieran Garrity or a Luke Bond like 2 years ago, I knew that it's my time, and again, came out on top finally.
Take us through the game plan today. You were in pretty much control of the whole match, even though it was 4-2 towards the end, then you get the late points, but you really didn't have any scary moments. Talk about your game plan.
Well, I wrestled him before. I know that he shoots for your front leg, and then I just have to sprawl real fast and go to my low leg like I did last time I wrestled them.
You've been to Walker Valley, now you're going as a champ. How's that feel?
Fantastic. It's finally nice to not wrestle on a Wednesday night, and I get to watch the other wrestlers, and then I get to see what they can do and prepare for that Friday night match.
In a word, 182 pounds watched this wild scramble near the end of the third period, and after the referees talked it over, we are tied at 8 between Zach Bafaro of Kittatinny and Jake Brown of Pope John. And in sudden victory, it's Jake Brown with the takedown right before the buzzer, as he would post a wild 10-8 win for Pope John's 4th title on the day.
It's a lot of hard work. I knew it was going to be close in the beginning. I came from this town, so I know it was going to be a tough match. So I just went out, stayed on my offense, stayed on my style, and just got the win.
Take us through the wild scramble before the end of the third period.
So I had him in a cradle, and he kicked out, caught me, put me on my back, back and forth, and then put me in us in overtime. This is a lot of wrestling.
Talk about going into the overtime. There's a little discrepancy with the score, but it was 8-8. You go in and get the sudden victory, you get the takedown. Take us through that.
Everyone was going crazy. The score was just turning back and forth, so I just had to stay focused and just wrestle, and whatever happens, happens.
And you talked about before, you're very familiar with Zach. You wrestled in the youth wrestling around here. Just talk about knowing going in, he was a tough customer.
It was just weird coming from the same town. We always wrestled together, so it was weird to see him in the finals. That's tough, we're friends.
They moved to 195 pounds, and it's Billy Lowen of Sparta building a 5-0 lead here as he would hold off Luke Dubrow to Kittatinny 7-5 to win his first title.
Great, thanks. This is my first year back in high school since 7th grade, so I'm just happy to be here and I'll make it to the finals, and I was able to pull out with a win.
Yeah, just talk about that. You know, obviously you had an outstanding football season. What made you come back to wrestling?
Well, I figured after watching my friends the past couple of years, hopefully I could be successful too. So I figured I'd give it another shot, and I didn't want to finish high school without trying it again.
Take us through the match. You had control, then Dubrow kind of made it a match, made it 7-5, but you were able to hold them off.
Well, at the end there, I was just trying to make sure that I didn't let up any extra points. So I tried to keep a good base. When I was on my feet, I knew how I had to try to take them down as best as I could, set up shots, which I usually have trouble on my feet. So I was just happy to pull out with a couple of takedowns.
Now, these guys that wrestle all the time don't get to Walker Valley. You're going to Walker Valley as a champ, so you get to get a bye and wrestle on Fridays. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm just excited to make it to regions. I know that was my goal in the beginning of the season, so I'm happy to come out into the regions with a first round bye.
At 220 pounds, it's all Adam Sherliff of Newton with the back points here during his 10-2 major over Zach Herbert of Sparta as he wins his first district crown after transferring from DePaul.
It was awesome, amazing feeling. Awesome coming back to my hometown, winning district title. Got to get a big week of practice this week and get good rest and rest look good for the weekend next weekend.
Yeah, talk about that. You obviously had to sit 30 days coming from DePaul. What kept you going through that time?
Just my coaches and everybody around me telling me I'm going to do good things this year. I'm going to set the pace. I'll try setting the pace early on this year for all the younger kids and kids of my weight. And I think it did a pretty good job. Did a pretty good job doing that.
Zach Herbert from Sparta is a real tough customer, but you kind of controlled the whole match.
Yeah, I've been wrestling with Zach a long time. We've been long-time buddies, actually. And, we've been drilling sir and everything, but I tried my best and I did everything I could to beat him.
You've been to the regions before when you're at the ball. Now you're going as a champ from Newton. Your thoughts?
It's awesome. So happy, excited to be there and excited to compete.
And at 285 pounds, Kevin Lewis gets the takedown here, and that's all he would need as he would nip Robbie Gannott in a rematch of last year's final 2-1 as he claims his second district title as Kittatinny ran away with the team title.
It feels good to get two, especially in the same kid. I mean, comes out, he wants revenge, so good thing I keep him down and win again.
How tough is it when you're going against a guy that knows you as well as you know him?
He gets used to your moves that you like to do, and he learns how to defend them in practice, so you got to switch it up, and you just got to work different stuff, and it gets harder and harder every time.
Now, you've bounced around. You've wrestled at 285, 195, 220. Just talk about being all over the place, and now you're settled in at heavyweight.
I've wrestled upper kids, bigger all my life, so I have a good feel for, bigger kids and stuff. No one was at 195 this year for us, so I had to cut down and make the weight and the rest there for Coach Gardner, so I did what I had to do for the team, and then I kind of knew in the beginning of the season I was going to go heavyweight, so just had to bulk up for it.
Talk about going back to Wilfield Valley as a champ.
Feels good. Just hopefully I get a good seed in regions, and hopefully I can win regions this year too.